All right, my name is Matthew Pattison. I'm from Sarasota, Florida. About 11 months ago, I was diagnosed with hepatitis C. It's a virus that usually gets into your bloodstream from drug use or promiscuous activity or blood transfusions before 1992. And in this case, in my life, I don't know how I got it. I really don't. I didn't do any of those activities. So what happens is the virus gets in your bloodstream, and over the course of time it replicates itself and it starts to increase in number in your body. The liver tries to fight the virus off, and eventually the liver kind of loses the battle, and then you begin to get cirrhosis of the liver, which in turn kills your liver off, and you're required to have a liver transplant. So I was just getting some life insurance for my family, and all of a sudden I got a letter in the mail from them saying I had this virus. I took my first test back in July of 2007 to find out how much of the hepatitis virus was in my bloodstream, and the test came back with 4.82 million in my bloodstream. I don't know how to explain that. I spent some time in denial, obviously not believing it, and got some testing done, and over the course of probably 10 months' time, I started visiting a specialist, and he started to do some more testing to find out how much of the virus was in my bloodstream. About a month after that test, I sat down with my doctor again and I said, "Hey, listen, doc," I said, "I need to take this test again. I have to give God a chance to heal me." My doctor was like, "You shouldn't bother to take this test. You should really just take your family out to a nice dinner because you got this thing, you just need to deal with it." And so I said, "Listen," I said, "I have got to give God a chance to heal me. I'm either going to start treatment or God's going to heal me, one or the other." You have different DNA strands in your body. Mine happens to be 1A, which is most common in the United States, but the hardest to get rid of this virus. And usually it's a non-responsive DNA type to the actual medicine that is used to eradicate the virus. Once you start treatment, you get a 2-week test. And so I took my test, and I was waiting for my test results to come back, and I was waiting, and first day came, I called, because I knew the Lord had said, "You're going to be healed. He's going to touch you, you're going to be healed." So I was waiting, and I called, and they didn't have it. The next day I called, they didn't have it. The next day I called, they didn't have it. Now Monday comes around, I called, they didn't have it. And Monday night is when I came to the Todd Bentley meeting up in Lakeland, and Todd was praying for multiple people at multiple times, but all of a sudden he stopped and he said, "If you have hepatitis, stand up. It's an issue with the liver." And sure enough, that was me. So I stood up, and I just had, the faith in God that He's going to heal me. And when Todd said, "You're going to be healed," obviously I believed him. And the next morning at exactly 9 a.m., as soon as the doctor's office opened, the nurse called me and said, "I've got some great news for you. It's gone." March 29th, with the quantitation of less than 10, which is what the average person would have if they don't have the virus. And this is really unheard of. I actually met with the doctor 2 days later on that Thursday afternoon, and the doctor, doctors don't always believe in miracles, but I had a chance to say, "Hey, listen, doc, do you remember what I told you a month ago?" And he said, "Yeah, I remember what you told me a month ago." I said, "Well, I stand on that." And he kept looking over those charts, and he kept saying, "You're making this difficult on me." It didn't make sense to him. It was too fast. He said, there's responders, there's super responders, but you're like a super duper responder. He's like, "It just doesn't make sense in the world's eyes. But in this case, I know that my God has done the work in my body, and I just give Him the glory for it."